Imagine if over 800 of the world's most influential people, from royalty to tech moguls to Nobel Prize winners, all agreed on something. Now imagine that something is essentially asking the entire AI industry to hit the pause button on building machines smarter than humans. Welcome to October 2025, where we're witnessing one of the most unlikely coalitions in modern history. We're talking about Prince Harry sharing digital ink with Steve Bannon, Richard Branson nodding along with AI godfathers, and tech pioneers who built the very systems they're now asking to slow down. But here's the billion-dollar question. Are they visionary protectors of humanity? Or are they just really nervous about their own creations? Picture this. You're at the world's most awkward dinner party. At table 1, you've got Prince Harry and Meghan Markle discussing royal protocols. At table 2, Steve Bannon, who's probably plotting something political. At table 3, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak is tinkering with a gadget, while Nobel laureate Geoffrey Hinton, the literal godfather of AI, is having an existential crisis about the very technology he helped birth. What could possibly bring these people together? Superintelligence. Not the fun, helpful AI that writes your email or suggests what to binge watch next. We're talking about AI that could potentially outsmart every human who ever lived combined. Think of it as the difference between a really smart calculator and, well, Einstein, but if Einstein could think a million times faster and never needed a coffee break. The Future of Life Institute organized this digital intervention, and their message is surprisingly simple. Hey, maybe we should figure out how to control these super smart machines before we build them, not after. Geoffrey Hinton, who literally helped invent the neural networks that power today's AI, recently upped his estimate of AI wiping out humanity from 10% to 20% over the next 30 years. That's like your own child telling you there's a 1 in 5 chance the robot they built might accidentally burn the house down.
Do you still believe that 10 to 20% chance of AIs wiping out humans is possible?
Oh yes, if we can't figure out a solution to how we can still be around when they're much smarter than us and much more powerful than us, we'll be toast. So we need to figure that out, and the best solution I can think of so far is give them a strong maternal instinct towards people. Most of the AI experts believe that sometime in the next 5 to 20 years we'll make AIs that are smarter than people, and there's very few examples we know of smarter things being controlled by less smart things.
But let's break down what superintelligence actually means in non-scary terms. Current AI? Hey, Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. Future superintelligence? Hey, AI, solve climate change, cure cancer, and while you're at it, figure out why my Wi-Fi keeps dropping out. The concern isn't that AI will turn evil like in the movies, though that makes for great Netflix content. The worry is more like, what happens when you create something smarter than you that might have different priorities? It's like teaching your teenager to drive, except the teenager is potentially smarter than every driving instructor who ever lived, and the car can go anywhere in the universe. Meanwhile, the big AI companies are basically responding with the corporate equivalent of, thanks for your concern, but we've got this. Meta just announced they're spending up to $72 billion in 2025 alone on AI infrastructure. That's more than the GDP of most countries just to build smarter machines. Mark Zuckerberg has committed hundreds of billions to reach superintelligence, recently saying he wants to build AI smarter than humans in every intellectual task. OpenAI, Google, and others are in what experts call a race to the bottom. Not because they're trying to build bad AI, but because they're racing so fast that safety considerations might be getting left in the dust. It's like watching a group of really smart people building increasingly powerful rockets while debating whether they should install parachutes. Sure, the rockets are amazing, but shouldn't we figure out the landing part first? Here's where it gets interesting. The letter doesn't say stop building AI, it specifically targets superintelligence, the kind that could potentially outsmart all of humanity combined. Think of it like the difference between building really fast cars, which is the current AI landscape, versus building cars that can travel faster than light without figuring out how to steer them first. That is superintelligence. The signatories are essentially saying, look, we love AI. It's helping doctors diagnose disease, making our phones smarter, and yes, it's writing some pretty decent poetry. But maybe, just maybe, we should have a plan for the really powerful stuff before we build it. Now, this brings us to the most fascinating part of this whole debate. Who gets to decide? Should it be the companies investing billions? I mean, they have the most skin in the game. The governments? They represent the people, so they say. The scientists? They understand the technology the best. Or all of us? We're the ones who'll live with the consequences, right? It's like asking who should decide the speed limit on a highway that doesn't exist yet for cars that haven't been invented, driven by people who might not be human. Before you start building a bunker, let's consider the flip side. Many AI researchers think the doomsday scenarios are overblown. Yann LeCun, another AI pioneer, argues that superintelligence will always remain under human control. His basic argument? We're not idiots, apparently, and we're not going to build something we can't control. Plus, consider this. Every transformative technology has had its skeptics. People thought cars would scare horses to death, that radio would rot our brains, and that the internet would destroy human connection. Okay, maybe they had a point about the last one. The optimistic view is that superintelligence could solve problems we can't even imagine solving today. Climate change? Solved. Diseases? Cured. The meaning of life? Finally answered, and it might not be 42. Here's the thing about this debate. It's not really about technology. It's not about AI either. It's about us. Are we mature enough as species to handle technology that could be more powerful than anything we've ever created? Can we build systems that remain aligned with human values even when they're smarter than us? And perhaps most importantly, can we have this conversation without either panicking or dismissing legitimate concerns? The fact that 800 plus influential people from across the political and cultural spectrum agree on anything is remarkable. But the fact that they're asking us to slow down and think, rather than speed up and hope for the best, might be the most human response of all. As we stand at this crossroads, the question isn't whether we should build superintelligence. The question is, how do we build it responsibly? Maybe the answer isn't a complete pause, but a more thoughtful approach. Maybe it's not about stopping the race, but about making sure we're all running in the right direction. Or maybe the most superintelligent thing we could do is listen to the people who built this technology in the first place when they say, hey, let's think about this for a minute. What do you think? Are we being appropriately cautious, or are we letting fear hold back progress? And if you had to choose between a world with superintelligence and a world without it, what would you pick? Because ultimately, that choice might be coming sooner than we think. Thank you all for joining me today, and I really hope you found this entertaining, engaging, or even thought-provoking in any way. If you like content like this, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to appease the algorithm gods. Thanks for tuning in, take care of yourselves, and as always, be kind to each other.